sideline internal and external rotation. I have a floor slider here. You can use, if you're at home, you can certainly use like a towel on a harder surface. The reason I prefer the floor slider is that they're padded, and it pretty much creates, somewhat of a frictionless surface, so it allows the rotation to occur. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a weight-bearing position to load the shoulder axially, which will kind of get a little bit of our nervous system involved, and then we're going to move through internal and external rotation. So with that being said, let's go through our setup. I want to start on the hip. That's the least aggressive position to be in. So I'm going to be hip, feet stacked, and then what I'm doing is getting my elbow directly under my shoulder. I'll turn to the side here in a second so you can see the setup from a different angle. But a lot of people will really kind of sag their side toward the ground and create kind of that little bit of a convex surface, right? I want you to drive your elbow into the ground, get your side away from the ground to where you're in a straight line from your armpit to your hip. And we're gonna hold that position. Typically what you'll feel is your pec fire a little bit, and some of the muscles on your back fire to where my elbow is directly under my shoulder, and I'm in this nice kind of tall posture. Now from there, the motion only comes at our glenohumeral joint, or the joint where our upper arm meets our shoulder blade. So when you rotate into internal rotation, if that's as far as you can go without having your shoulder blade move or changing any of your positioning, then so be it. That's kind of your in range for now. And we're gonna work into that position. So you're gonna come in, hold for 1001, rotate all the way back to the opposite position, same thing, just rotating through the arm. Now some people may have internal and external rotation isometrics within this position. So what that looks like is you would rotate all the way into internal rotation, and then you'd put your hand and you'd rotate out into external for an isometric hold, and then you'd reach as far as you can in again and hold that. Hand goes back, do external rotation again. So we're doing internal, external rotation, in-range isometric holds. And what you'll typically see there is as you do those holds, you'll be able to move a little bit further and further. Hopefully with keeping in mind the good techniques where you're not letting that shoulder blade move all over the place. So if I change the camera angle here, so I got my elbow under my shoulder, I'm driving my elbow into the ground, my side away from the ground, and as I rotate, you'll notice that nothing here moves this direction. It should stay where it's at. It shouldn't round till my shoulder blade pops forward, and I shouldn't shift where my shoulder goes in front of my elbow. I want to keep it perfectly centered, and we're just rotating between those 2 points. Now, if you want to increase difficulty, or for some of you, I may even prescribe it right off the bat, depending on your strength and motor control abilities, is you can just simply come up to your knee, and there's more weight now going through your arm. Okay, so typically slow and controlled. Look to see if you're doing the isometrics versus just the isotonic motion, and then pay attention to your sets and reps and any sort of specific notes that are listed there as well.